Alright, just got done playing Battlefield 6 Season 2 for about 8.5 hours or so. I'm recording this directly after I ended stream, so the impressions are fresh in my head. The first thing I'm going to say is, before you post this video on Reddit to make a dedicated hate thread, you should probably listen to what I have to say in this video, because I think maybe some things you'll be surprised about. So let's start going over stuff. If you enjoy the channel, be sure to sub, hit the like button, and swing by the streams. All links are in the description. The first thing I want to address has to do with the movement. I'm sure that's why a lot of you are watching this video. The movement, obviously I made videos previously saying that I don't believe any movement nerfs were warranted, and I 100% stand by that. In terms of the differences I felt today, I'm going to just go through it section by section. So in terms of sliding and the slide jump, it feels different. Like, you fall to the ground faster, you slide a little shorter, but overall, it really doesn't change its effectiveness. You can still use it exactly how you've always been able to use it. I'm sure you'll see in the gameplay that it doesn't really affect it too much. However, again, I don't believe any nerfs were necessary. Now, the things regarding the movement that I really noticed that were annoying was the fact that DICE, for whatever reason, seemed to nerf aspects of the movement that nobody really complained about. The number one thing that's most noticeable is how sluggish the strafing feels on top of the new acceleration, with the air control also being heavily impacted. So it just feels less natural and more sluggish. The way I described it on stream, and for lack of a better way of describing it, is you pretty much just feel fatter. And maybe that's like a blunt way to put it, but whatever. I've never shied away from being blunt, have I? I don't think the changes they made to the movement are, like, game-destroying or anything. Again, I really have to make it crystal clear my exact position. I don't believe they were necessary, and I do think overall the movement just feels worse. One thing I will say, though, is if this is the last movement nerf that happens to Battlefield 6, I'll be totally okay with it, alright? You guys can have this little, very small victory, but I don't want to hear any more complaining about the movement. The way it is right now, even though I wish they would revert the changes, if they keep it like this forever, so be it. But again, no more movement complaining. You guys need to fucking get better. Especially with what happened with the gunplay in this season, which is my number one problem, actually, and I did not think this would be the case. Please comment down below if you've experienced the same thing, but holy shit, did you guys get absolutely laser beamed in this game today? I'm talking about everyone was beaming the fuck out of everyone else, and that is because of a specific change they made in this update. You might have noticed there was a patch note that mentioned recoil consistency, and this, I predicted, had to do with the hidden recoil mechanic that I will now explain. Okay, so before this patch, this is how this recoil mechanic worked. So every weapon in Battlefield 6 has a recoil pattern. The M4A1 has one that goes up and to the right. The way this hidden mechanic worked is based on the recoil pattern of your weapon, it would accelerate your aim in one direction. So for this pattern, because it's up to the right, it would push your aim to the right. And in the opposite direction, let's say I was pulling against or trying to aim against the upper right recoil pattern, it would add resistance if I tried to track to the left. That messed with your aim and your sensitivity feel, but it also added some felt resistance and something that would feel like recoil, but wasn't actually recoil, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if they 100% removed this mechanic from BF6 in this update, but they definitely changed it, and it's making weapons beam way harder because that felt resistance, or that, like, extra recoil feel, is not present anymore. Don't get me wrong, they should 100% remove that recoil mechanic from the game. My point is, because there is no more felt resistance or the feeling of extra recoil, all of these weapons feel way easier to shoot, which extends their effective ranges, which means people are just beaming and hitting targets at range way easier now. And keep in mind, this was already a problem even before this patch today, so as far as I'm concerned, DICE has some work cut out for them when it comes to the gunplay of this game. They just need to make it harder, man. They need to look into reducing muzzle velocities, increasing recoil, making spread matter more, and adding limb multipliers to the game. Thankfully, they have considered adding limb multipliers already. They mentioned that in the community post, but that has not been added in this Season 2 patch. So to give a quick TLDR before I move on to talking about the other aspects of Season 2, like the map, with the changes they made in this patch, weapons are too easy to shoot, and they made the movement feel worse, and for those reasons, that is why I say Season 2 was an overall downgrade to the gameplay of BF6. Now, when it comes to Contaminated, which is the map that they added, I have to say, I do like it, but I think it's super game mode dependent. Comment down below if you think the same thing. I think Contaminated plays the best, actually surprisingly on Breakthrough, and I can't believe I'm saying that with the current state Breakthrough is in. I think it's similar to Liberation Peak in the sense that when you play Liberation Peak on Breakthrough, you can tell that there's just extra attention to detail paid to the layout of Breakthrough sectors. In other words, it feels like Breakthrough is a mode that map was designed to be played on. When it comes to Conquest and Escalation, again, surprisingly, I think Escalation on this map plays like shit. And it has to do with the amount of vehicles present. They are essentially fitting Galmud Railway vehicle counts onto this tiny map. Whenever you reach the late stages of Escalation, when all the points start disappearing, it just feels very crowded. The flow feels quite bad. On Conquest, I actually much preferred the flow on that larger scale map. Less stuff happening, more of a proper map feel, in my opinion. Aesthetically, the map is also extremely awesome looking. I did turn my game up to Ultra just so I could like soy pog at it for a little bit, and yes, it does look absolutely stunning aesthetically. But overall, I think I'm just happy that Contaminated isn't a complete waste of a map drop like Blackwell Fields was in Season 1. In terms of audio improvements, honestly, I think I need more time to really have a definitive take on this, but if you really press me to give you a take right now, I would say maybe the audio's improved a little bit. I felt like the directionality might have been a little bit more readable, but I'm gonna wait to give a definitive answer on whether or not I think the audio is improved. In terms of other gameplay improvements that I noticed, the RPG got nerfed. I don't think they nerfed the velocity, they nerfed the ADS time. I'm not sure if that's the correct nerf to make. I think the RPG velocity is fucking ludicrous. It's definitely the easiest RPG in history to use. It has a scope, the velocity's insane. The velocities in general in this game just need to be addressed. Both free fire rocket velocity and muzzle velocities. I know some people will be curious to know my thoughts about the new weapons. I don't have any of the new weapons unlocked yet. I am not going to buy the Battle Pass XP thing that helps you level it up faster. It costs like $25. Never in my life is EA getting $25 for a Battle Pass out of me. So it's just going to take me a little bit to actually unlock those weapons, which is okay. What's not okay is the amount of content. Because I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm kind of wondering where the second map is already. And maybe you guys are like, oh, it's ridiculous, Enders, but you know what? No, it's fucking not. I remember the days of Battlefield Premium where, yes, we might have to wait a little bit longer for the content, but at least we got it all at once, and there was a substantial amount. Now it just feels like, oh, we gotta wait a month for the second map. Feels real bad. Moving forward, because of the direction of Season 2, I'm going to be extremely interested to see what other directions they take the game in terms of changes. The mid-season patches for Season 2 are going to be extremely important, and I do hope they make some good headway on a lot of these big problems. So, there we go. Impressions on Season 2. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I appreciate all you guys. Hit the sub button. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Swing by the streams. And I'll see you guys in the next video.